All right, well, hey everybody. I figured this would be a good time of the day to jump on here and share some good information with y'all, some tips to beat the heat. Man, I tell you what, it was 109 degrees today earlier, and we have cooled off. I think we're down to like the mid 70s now. We had some thunderstorms roll through, so it kind of cooled things down, got some good rain. So it's been an awesome evening. So I figured what better time to sit out here and talk about hydration with you guys. So tip number one, I mean, you guys kind of know this. This is a given. Number one thing to beat the heat is to stay hydrated. So, of course, that being water is going to be our number one source of hydration. But something else to think about is if you're going to be outside working for a long time, you know, cutting grass, maybe you're doing a hike or, you know, you're just out and about doing things and you're outside and you're in that high heat, you want to do water, but you also want to throw in some electrolytes. And something that I found that works really well for me is BioSteel. This stuff is awesome. There are plenty of different types of electrolytes out there, so just, you know, whatever you guys like. I would definitely throw some electrolytes in, and what I'll do a lot of times is, this is my typical like running flask here, and I'll put half water and I'll put half BioSteel in there and mix it up so it's not as sweet. So I'm making sure that I'm staying nice and hydrated. So yes, number one tip, hydration. Something else that's really important if you're going to be out and about, say you're doing some backpacking or some hiking and you're going out for like a day, it's always awesome and a good idea to have like a water filter. And this one I used when I went backpacking, and this is the Catadine Be Free. And this thing is super great because all you got to do is go up to a stream, running water, and you put this underneath your stream water there, put this filter back in there, screw it down tight, and so it's filled with water, and then you would just take it and squeeze the water out through that filter into your water bottle, and there you have it. You're good to go. You've got water to drink. Something else is a backpack and a little pack that has your water reservoir inside of it. This one here holds, I think, about 2 liters. Actually, maybe it's 5 liters. But yeah, it's good to have that too if you're going to be going out for the day. Making sure that you have plenty of water, plenty of electrolytes to keep yourself hydrated. That is tip number one. You know what? Maybe for the next tip, we'll go take a walk or something. I think we'll do that. Oh, look. Water. Good idea. Everybody, I figured we'd come take a walk outside while it cooled down just a little bit. So tip number 2 for beating the heat and how to manage heat is going to be go easy. You don't want to overdo it. So while you're out and about and you're doing your, you know, if you're hiking, running, walking, working out in the garden, if you're cutting grass, if you're just hanging out, maybe you're out at the beach or what have you, you know, you want to always remember to go easy. Don't overdo things. Just kind of take it easy. Remember, you know, to take breaks whenever you need to, and just kind of, you know, always remember too that you know you're going to be a little bit slower if you're walking and hiking and what have you. You might be a little bit slower than usual because of the high heat, and so just remember, you know, to not get frustrated and to just kind of, you know, back off a little bit if you need to, just to go easy and to not overdo it. That is tip number 2. Tip number 3 for beating the heat, it is knowing what to wear and kind of gear to have on you and to wear as well. So some of the things that I tend to use on a regular basis and wear, I'll just kind of show you here some tank tops that I wear, and these are great, and I think I have one in all the colors that are available. But it's got a completely mesh back, and so it helps you to stay cool. It's real breathable. And so this is something that I wear, and it's a go-to in the summer. Also shorts. Shorts are always a go-to that I wear in the summer. I don't tend to wear any kind of leggings or what have you, just shorts. And these shorts are great because they actually have pockets in the side too, where you can store like a gel, where you can also put your car key at, cell phone, that kind of thing. So shorts. and tank top. Those are kind of a go-to as far as my clothing goes. Something else to stay cool, and this is, I don't ever leave without it. If it is in the 60s and above, I will take these two items all of the time. And it is kind of like, this is actually a kind of a neck gaiter, but I use it, I'll wrap it around my wrist like this, and I will soak it in water, so it will be soaked. And even soaking it like in ice cold water is a really good idea. So this kind of helps to keep your body cool. And this is my favorite bandana, and these are actually damp because I just washed them a moment ago because I use them on the daily, so I have to wash them all of the time. And so this bandana I will actually take and have it soaked in ice cold water as well. I mean, soaked as far as like dripping wet. And I will roll it and wrap it around my neck and tie it, and that's how I will stay cool whenever I'm running, whenever I'm in the garden working, if whatever I am doing that is outside. If it's hot, I have these two items all of the time that I utilize. And the great thing about these two things, and also this is that quick dry material. The bandana is cotton so that it holds the water a little bit longer. The great thing about these two items, as I was going to say, is you know, you can re-soak them. If you're outside and you're, you know, you have access to a water hose, you can soak it that way, or at your house. But like if you're out on a trail somewhere, and if there's like river streams, river crossings, you know, you can just take it off real quick, throw it in the water there, and get it soaked again, and be on your way. So then that you can stay cool while you're out there. So those are two things I use all the time. Also, this, as I showed you earlier, this is my usual running flask for water and electrolytes, and this actually goes inside of this pocket here, and then there's a place in the front that holds my cell phone as well. And so these two items to hold water and electrolytes, that's something that comes with me as part of gear, clothing items. Sunscreen. Sunscreen is another big thing. If you're going to be outside, you're going to be in the heat, whether it's morning, evening, really any time of day. But of course, you know, you got the hottest part of the day. If you've got to be outside in the hottest part of the day, make sure you're putting some sunscreen on to keep that sun off of you as best as possible. Sunglasses, I always keep mine, if they're not on my covering my eyes, they're typically on the top of my head. And so sunglasses, utilize those, keep your eyes protected. Around here it's from the sun, but it's also the gnats that tend to, you know, I don't know what it is about gnats and just like to be all up in your eyeballs. But so yeah, so sunglasses. Also a hat. And I will actually tend to not wear a hat in the hottest part of the day. That way there, especially if I'm not going to soak the hat. If you're doing something long, you know, for a long period of time outside, and you can soak your hat, that's great, because you can soak it, put it on your head, help keep your body cool that way. But I will actually not wear a hat if I'm going to be outside for shorter periods of time. That way there it helps to, oh, you hear the frogs, helps to, you know, let everything breathe, and it's not keeping that heat in. And so, but it actually, you know, if you get a lighter colored hat, get that hat out there, sun protection, eye protection, all that good stuff. So having a hat is also a good idea if you're going to be outside. And, you know, if you're like some people and if you don't have any hair, you got to definitely protect that head. And so, so yeah, hat, sunscreen, bandanas, cool clothing that wicks away. Yeah, something else as far as clothing goes is you don't want to wear cotton. Cotton will just absorb everything, and it'll actually just make you even more hot, and it doesn't dry very fast. And so you want to try to avoid cotton as much as possible. Stick with those quick drying materials that you can. Best way. So tip number 4 for ways to beat the heat is going to be to get out there early in the morning or to go later in the evening. So anything that you can do to get out early to get your stuff done outside, or go later in the evening when it's a little bit cooler. Today actually worked out perfect because I went at probably the absolute wrong time of day to go and get my run in, but I actually do that for training purposes, and so knowing how to run in the heat is crucially important. And so, and knowing my limits and knowing what to do. But if I can get out there early in the morning and do it, that's the best time to do it, honestly. Because even in the evening times here, sometimes it won't even cool off till, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening time. So if you can get out early, get your stuff done, that's when it's cooler outside and there is, just the humidity is lower and what have you, and it's just a lot more manageable. The sun's not beating down directly on you. That is the best time to get out there. So early in the morning or later in the evening, that is tip number 4, y'all. All right, y'all, so tip number 5 for beating the heat is going to be listening to your body. This is a really important one because a lot of times with the heat, it'll just sneak up on you and you're just like, oh man, if you're not paying attention to your hydration, if you're not paying attention to just what your body's telling you. Something as far as that goes that's really important to keep in mind, sweating. Sweating is a good thing because if you ever stop sweating, that means that you're starting to get dehydrated and you need to get out of the heat quick. And so sweating is a good thing. Listening to your body. If you're out there hiking, running, bicycling, doing an activity, make sure your heart rate is staying in a good, reasonable place for your level of activity. So just listening to your body. Take breaks when you need to. Also, if you can get in the shade, if it's real sunny out, make sure you're trying to stay in that shade if you possibly can. But listening to your body is very important. And that is tip number 5, y'all. All right, y'all. So tip number 6. This is one that's near and dear to my heart because it involves snacks. All right, so eating something while you are in the middle of the heat. You might be thinking, man, I really don't want to eat anything, but it is actually very important if you are outside for a good long period of time to eat something. It's important to stay hydrated, but it's also important to get some calories in you as well, especially if you're like, biking, hiking, if you're out there canoeing, even out on the water, out on the beach, whatever. If you are outside for an extended period of time, getting some calories in is very important. And these are just some of my favorite things here. These are actually some gels that I use, the Huma gels, and this one actually has electrolytes in it. And then there's some other ones. This one is cafe mocha. This one's really awesome in the wintertime because it's almost like a warm brownie. It's really good. But so these are good, and these kind of liquid calories like this are great because it doesn't take your body having to use energy to break the stuff down, and so it's already broken down since it's in like a liquid format. So those are great. Whatever activity you're doing, you don't even have to be running to use these. They're just great to have and to keep on hand if you need to get some calories in. And these tend to be kind of in the sweet family, and so some things for saltiness. I like these cream cheese and chives crackers are really good. And some other things that you guys, I'm sure, y'all have seen a lot of this stuff in the store. These almond butter biscuits and these blueberry Nature Valley bars. But just your favorite kind of go-to snack. These are just kind of some of mine that I grab real quick. And some other things as far as like fruits, orange slices. Oh my goodness, orange slices are amazing whenever you're outside. It's something cool, or even like watermelon, mango slices, just those cool, crisp summer fruits are amazing and can just help you to bounce back real quick if you just like are feeling a little just tired from the heat. Super ways to just bounce back real quick. Also, some people always are just like, they make a face at this probably because it's pickle juice, but this stuff is amazing. I mean, it can do like a complete 180 so fast if you're just needing some salt, actually. Because as you're sweating, you're getting rid of that salt and your body needs to replace it with electrolytes and what have you. But pickle juice is just an amazing way to just replenish that real quick and to get all of the needs for your body real fast. And so snacks, man, I could drink some pickle juice right now, y'all. I won't though. Yeah, we gotta save this. There are more hot days coming. So that is tip number 6 for beating the heat, and on to number 7. beat the heat, tip number 7 is to let someone know where you're going. This is very important, just like all of our other tips. But with this one, letting someone know where you're going to be at, what you're doing, what time you get there, what time you're planning on leaving as well. All good things to let someone know. That way if something does come up, they will know where to find you and kind of a time frame as well. So tip number 7, let someone know where you're going to be.